Welcome to another edition of Friday at 4:20. My name is Mike Neighbors. Very glad to have you along with us as we get you ready for the weekend ahead with some laughs. And who better to provide the laughs than our panel of stand-up comics? Please welcome, as usual, way over on my right, it's my very close, dear personal friend and mentor, Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Patrick. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Yes.
I made you my mentor now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe you could be mine, though. I'm trying to quit smoking.
Oh!
I think it's time.
Is it?
Yes.
You know what?
You quit completely, right?
Yeah, I did. That spray. It's the spray, man.
Oh, does it work?
So I've used the gum before. I know people have used patches, but you still get that, once in a while you get that really aggravated, I could just kill somebody feeling. Mm-hmm. And that little nicotine spray, you hit it, and it just, you can feel it wash over you like heroin, man. It's wonderful. I don't know what heroin feels like, but I imagine it would be like that.
Yeah.
So that might be helpful. You've got a year. I saw that you've been working with Levity Comedy Club for a year.
Yeah.
You guys celebrate your 1 year anniversary. That's very cool.
Yeah, we actually missed it. Thank you.
Yeah. You've been so busy running the club that you missed the anniversary.
Yeah.
But that's pretty successful, pretty good track record for 1 year. You guys are doing great and continue to improve it, right?
Yeah. No, it feels good. That went by fast.
It was super
year, right?
fast, man.
I think about that all the time, just in life in general.
Yeah. That
person that you just heard there is Manolis Zontanos.
Hey, buddy. I love you.
Take an E, buddy. How are you?
Tikanis.
Yeah.
You're trying to get me to say it wrong.
Always.
My brain's always like, it's Tikanis now.
It's taken E, yes. That was our tribute to the NFL players who were protesting the anthem. Take an E.
Take an E.
What's going on, buddy? You're looking good. I like the peach-colored shirt.
Thank you. It's got roses on the shoulder.
It's very soft. It's a soft look for you.
My heart. It's like my heart.
Yeah. You have the hair. Who's the Back to the Future, the crazy professor?
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown. He has Doc Brown's hair, but with a soft shirt.
I'm gonna get a haircut tomorrow.
Okay, good.
I'm like, it's getting too much for me too.
Have I shamed you into it?
No, I'm not. Like, it's just like, it's like, I don't know.
Okay.
Once it's starting getting past shag, and now I feel like
it's gone right on to.
I don't wash my hair, and it's like I'm gonna have to start washing it.
Well, yeah, you will.
You don't have like the cool surfer shag anymore. It sticks up.
It just goes.
Like, I'm in that middle stage. I have to get past it. That's the problem. I don't want to go past it. Now, I just look homeless.
Always.
And I will quit smoking with you, Patrick. I say, let's all quit smoking together.
Okay.
You're in?
He's way ahead of us.
Been quit for a year.
So there you go. What do you say, Patrick?
But he's. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he can just not smoke for months and then just start smoking.
That's not really fair, is it?
Yeah.
Listen, we've taken way too much time. We haven't even gotten to our special guest, and I'd really like to introduce our special guest joining us. It is Jimmy England. How are you, Jimmy?
Any better, and I'm a threat to the community.
Well, excellent. That's good. Well, we are going to threaten the community right here. Let's talk a little bit about you.
I wanted to talk about Manolis' shirt.
Yes, you like that soft peach?
If you've never seen Manolis perform live, you have to do that. But he kind of looks like a guy who's just on the verge of failing anger management. And he's trying to use the shirt to kind of put him over the edge there,
or hold him back. One or the other, right?
Nobody's going to buy it, but he's going to give it his best shot anyways.
Not only a stand-up comic, Jimmy, but also an entrepreneur here in the Hamilton area for so many years. The proprietor of Applegate and James, very famous furniture place.
That's true.
And you did that for
28 years.
28 years.
And by the way, when I perform on stage as Jimmy England, that is not my real name.
Right.
So anybody who goes, Jimmy England was never associated with Applegate and James. I want to clarify, he was under a different name.
That is. So was I not supposed to pull the two together? Is this an alter ego you're running with?
Well, what I was trying to do is, my theory was that we won't tell the real name. When he goes to work, he's still got to be that. But if I fall on my face, Jimmy England falls on his face.
I love it. All right. Well, remember when Jimmy England ran Applegate and James? That was fun.
It's funny. And then I'm listening to 1 year with Patrick over there, and I completely remember that because the first 3 years of my business, I was sleeping in a fetal position and crying a lot. I thoroughly understand what that is like, man.
You did some stand-up back in the 70s. You took a really long break, and you're back to doing a little bit of stand-up now. And what's the biggest difference between when you first dabbled in it and what you're doing now, the audience?
Just to be clear, strictly dabbled in it back in the 70s. But I would say that the audiences are a lot nicer today than they were back then.
Really?
I do not find heckling is the problem. You get the odd drunk every now and again.
Sure.
And I have seen Manolis handle the odd drunk every now and again.
Nobody handles it like Manolis.
No, I had to follow him one time, and I'm not going into details, but it was the worst experience of my life. Because we were about this close to going outside and having a gang fight, or just watching him go at it.
Was that at what was that? What bar was that?
Lion's Head.
Oh, that one.
Oh, that one. I've seen the video.
Yeah.
The video evidence. Yes.
Oh, do you have it? It's recorded.
Yeah. It's on. Yeah, it's on.
Manolis' takedown is recorded.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That intense conversation I had with that guy.
All I know is you're looking at are you looking at my eyes? Look at these eyes. Can you see my eyes?
I'm not afraid to die today. Was my favorite line.
I go, do my eyes look weak to you?
And I'm like a million years older than Manolis, and I'm going, what the hell do I do? I can't do a damn.
How does this
You know what my specialty was in high school? Falling down and bleeding. That was it. That was my go-to move in a fight.
Jimmy England, it is awesome to have you here to play a little Friday at 420. We're going to get into our game. Before we're done here, I will lean on your knowledge of furniture a little bit because I do want to ask you the prevailing question. What the hell is an Ottoman? Where did they come from? Why are they called that?
They are Turkish.
You know what? I was going to guess the Ottoman Empire.
And what blows me away about an Ottoman, and anybody goes out there to price an Ottoman, we used to sell a chair for $5.99. An Ottoman was $2.99. An Ottoman is no arms, no back. It's just a cushion on a box.
Right.
That's all it is. Right. And every manufacturer has this ridiculous price.
Expensive Ottomans.
So they're stools.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's confusing.
Short
I don't think that's a
stools.
good terminology.
No, they're soft
They're like
stools.
Yeah.
That's still not a good terminology.
No.
You guys are not really
Wait.
Footstool.
We're
I'll
lost
accept
in the world of furniture now. That's all my fault. Jimmy, get up and drop a Plinko puck. Let's get your first topic on Friday at 420. Jimmy England, Manolis Zontanos, Patrick Coppolino, all in the house, all ready to have a good time. What do you got?
Lucky number 7.
Number 7, your first topic on Friday at 420, Jimmy England,
Throw it at me.
is... when you are cooking for others, do you find it stressful? If people are coming over and you're making the meal, do you find it stressful? Are you a cook, first of all?
Actually, somewhat.
Okay.
I am not a high-level cook by any stretch of the imagination. My wife had a really good paying job in Toronto, and it was like she was supporting the family, and I felt I had the obligation to learn how to do it.
Right.
So I have some go-to recipes.
Okay.
It's amazing where you can put a frankfurter and make it look like you've done something special. It's really what I'm saying. It's a go-to.
Wrap it up in something.
Tater tots next to a bunch of sliced up frankfurters. You got a go-to meal.
That looks
right
pretty
there.
good, right?
It's hard to get upset in that situation.
Yeah.
I have never done a turkey. My wife always does the turkeys and stuff like that. I once did a roast, but
Did that turn out okay?
it wasn't bad. I work from a recipe book because I have no taste skills whatsoever.
Right.
I'm no Patrick, who I know
He's a culinary magician.
he is a culinary magician.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, would you be stressed when you were doing the roast, though? Even if I'm just making the roast for my own family,
Right.
I get stressed. I get stressed about cooking it too long, not cooking it enough. I mean, is that you find it stressful or not?
The kids have left the family. It's just me and my wife. So I do something and it doesn't work out. No matter how bad it is, it can't be as bad as the sex. So it's a win-win situation. You can't go wrong.
That's an awesome line. Manolis, you're making food for somebody. Do you get stressed out about it, or you just kind of go, you know what, it's going to be all right?
It's gonna be everything's gonna be fine. I always
Everything in Manolis' life.
It just starts off. First of all, it always starts off like if I have someone in my house, that means I have company. And it's nice.
So that's a win right there.
Right there, and I'm like, and I always have booze. So I'm like, you want some rye? We start.
That's the win when you're cooking, eh? Get them drunk.
Yeah, get them drunk, and then I'm like, "What do you want to eat?" Like, and if I don't have any mushrooms, then I go, to the kitchen and I have like Kalamata oil that I've given you some. It's
Yes.
all comes all from Greece and
I know.
Pat's been over.
It's the really good
Just
stuff.
toast some bread. I'm good.
Right.
Go ahead. I
I was
toast
going to
some.
explain what it is.
I toast
He goes,
some bread.
He's like, yeah. He goes, want to make you something Greek that my dad makes? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So he goes, this is like when we first started hanging out. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'll have to get some like homemade Greek food. He comes down. It was the best toasted slice of Wonder Bread with with a sliced tomato and Kraft Singles cheese melted on it with olive oil on top that I've ever had. It was the best.
Was it? And
It actually was really good.
Thank you.
You weren't stressed out at all?
No.
I was
we
very
we
drunk.
ate like kings that night.
It sounds like it.
Do you have that recipe written down someplace?
Yeah.
But you got to get the Kalamata oil, or else
Yeah,
it doesn't.
without the
It
oil,
only
it
works
doesn't
with the oil,
Have
right?
you used the oil that I gave you?
I know. I still have it.
Oh my God!
I
you
know.
haven't used it?
No.
It's in your office.
But it's not going to go bad, is
No,
it?
but dude, it's like I give you a gift that it's like
I've worn the WKRP shirt and the Terry Fox shirt. Does that help?
yes, it does.
Excellent.
Put some oil on the body and then
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
he
put
doesn't
the
even
sh-
want you to cook with it. Just rub it on your
Rub
body
it
or
on your-
something. Do
Oh,
something.
rub it
well,
on
if
your-
that's the case, I'll use it.
just rub it on your nipples.
Patrick, do you get stressed out when you're cooking for people? And by the way, at Levity recently, right, you did a massive dinner for the
Yeah,
whole restaurant.
I was just going to say,
So,
for family
did
and
that stress
friends,
you out?
it doesn't stress. It's actually the opposite for me.
Okay.
But that night, when I decided to cook for 70 people
Right.
who paid money for
For the meal they're about to eat?
yeah,
That's
that,
stressful.
That was stressful, but luckily I had my mom with me.
Let her
she's
carry
been
the burden?
cooking since she was like 8 years
Excellent.
old. So
I can see where that'd be stressful, right, Manolis? I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
you're
was-
cooking.
oh,
if
yeah, he
somebody's
was helping
paying,
us.
If somebody's paying for it?
Yeah,
yeah, he was
I-
in the kitchen helping
it was
plate the dishes.
it was totally stressful.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave you with this tip for cooking in the future, and then I'll get you to Plinko there, Manolis, and get us a new topic. But when I'm cooking for people and we're having a dinner or something like this, my theory is I always make it as late a dinner as I possibly can. Because if they're really hungry, they'll eat just about anything, right? Everything tastes better when you're starving.
Right.
So you just make them sit and wait it out, and they'll love what you cook. Get up there, drop that Plinko plug, my friend. Friday at 4:20, Jimmy England, our special guest in the studio, Manolis Zontanos, Patrick Coppolino, Mike Neighbors, and we are on to topic number 2. Which of the big awards would you most like to win? The Oscar, the Grammy, a Tony? Do you even know what the Tonys are for?
I don't, but I'm gonna go Tony.
You're going to go with you want to win a Tony.
I want to
win a Tony.
Tony sounds fun.
Like a good one. That's for Broadway.
Broadway? Oh,
Yeah.
then I want a Tony.
You want a Tony?
I want a Tony.
You're a one-man show, right?
Right.
Manolis Zontanos, one-man show.
Can
that
I
would be
do-
a Broadway Tony.
Do I have to sing and dance, or can I just talk in a
You
Broadway
can
show?
do plays. You can do one-man shows.
A
without
lot
singing.
of people have won Tonys with one-man shows that were very, very sad stories. So you kind of you can take it in either direction.
Jimmy
Wait.
knows
You can take it
really
in
well.
either direction.
He's been around.
He's been around.
He knows that I'm dead
Jimmy,
inside.
Jimmy knows Manolis'
Do I?
story.
Dude, does Tony give it to me?
No. There's no Tony. It was named for a famous Tony, but it's Tony the Tiger, I believe. But you don't get it from Tony. But you would be a big Broadway show in New York where they hand out the Tonys.
Everybody goes to Broadway. All these famous actors, like, they have a play
Yeah.
on Broadway, right?
Yeah.
Because they make all this money and then they can do what they really want or whatever.
Well, and also I think live audience, right? It's what you guys all get off on being comedians is that
Right.
live audience interaction. As an actor, being on the set for 6 weeks shooting a movie is a very different experience than doing a live play or a live Broadway musical or something.
Why do these people that win these awards always do these long speeches? Or why does everybody think they're going to change the world in like 2 minutes?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer for that, but Patrick does. Patrick, you want to weigh in on this?
I don't know, which is why that's why I like when you see a comedian win an award like that. Like when Jim Carrey won a bunch of awards.
Right, yeah.
There's all these great videos of him accepting awards, and he's always over the top sarcastic, like he's the best, and that's why he won. And I remember he's like, I'd like to thank my manager and my agent, and he names them all. He's like, who should count their lucky stars they even met me.
See, now
That's a speech.
It's great.
having
Yeah.
fun with the speech. Which of the big awards would you most like to win, Patrick? Is it a Tony? Is it an Emmy? That's for TV. A Grammy for music or an Oscar for movies? What do you fancy yourself?
A Gemini.
Gemini, yeah,
Canadian Television Awards.
Sure. It doesn't exist anymore, but
It doesn't?
good. No,
That's done?
Well, they got the Geminis and the other one.
Junos.
Junos?
No, not the Junos. Junos still exists, but the Geminis
Grammys?
and the other one were put together, and they're just called the Canadian
What?
Screen Awards now.
Oh,
So
that's so Canadian. They just
they just folded
They just
the two
merge
together.
it. No one will
Geminis-
notice.
I forget what the movie one was.
there was a movie one in Canada too.
Yeah. So then they merged them into one. We'll have to look that up on Google. Jimmy the England, what are you getting up and giving your speech for? Is it an Oscar, a Tony, a Grammy, or an Emmy?
I have been to Broadway. I love Broadway shows.
Okay.
I would have to go with the Tony.
The Tony as well, eh? Yeah.
Ironically, because the chance, I'm 70 years old. Unless I'm going to get discovered in the next 15 minutes as a result of this broadcast, there is no chance I'm going to be receiving any awards.
Well, then there's no chance you're receiving
not even a Gemini.
Because you're not getting discovered here.
Not getting discovered here, But no,
wait a minute.
Tony, I think that'd be cool because you're standing up at Broadway stage, and and you're right. That's what we do this for. We want the love. We want it rolling up to us.
Yeah, the live. Have you ever taken part in a play or a musical?
Yeah. I used to Hamilton Theater Incorporated. For 6 years when I was in high school and beyond, I used to do plays there. In fact, as a matter of fact, I did them right up to Hello Dolly, in which I finally, prior to that, 5 shows I'm doing chorus work, I finally get a speaking part, a small part.
Nice.
Me and another girl. Last night, we get chatting away because we're young and stupid. We completely miss our cue, and the guys on stage are blathering away. I had to go up and apologize afterwards.
You messed it up.
I messed it up.
You're a big shot.
I didn't know I'm sorry. You're 70?
I'm 70, yeah.
I had no idea. I thought you were my age.
Ironically, I thought you were too.
Yeah. Manolis, you might be closer to 70 than you think.
Well, how if this isn't too personal, how old are you?
I'm 49.
He's 49.
I'm going to be 50 in July.
He's creeping 50, man.
I can't wait.
Patrick, get up there and drop a Plinko puck, and we'll discuss. Don't anyone ask Patrick how old he is. He loves rubbing that in. What do you got there, buddy?
6.
Number 6, Friday at 4:20. It is topic number 6 for Patrick Coppolino. Tell me about a scar that you have. Tell me about a scar that you have.
The biggest scar I have?
Well, any scar that you has that has a good story, really.
Emotional scar or physical scar?
Whatever kind of scar you have. You have plenty of emotional scars.
I have stretch marks that look like scars.
You have a beautiful tattoo. I know that's your daughter, right?
Yeah, it's my daughter's name.
Esther. When did you get that tattoo?
A few years ago.
Okay.
We were doing a comedy show. Our friend Aaron Allen in London owns a tattoo shop.
Right.
And he did a show there. We did like a comedy show at the shop, and for doing the show, he offered me a free tattoo. So I thought, this is my only tattoo, so I thought if this ends up being my only tattoo, I should get something I'm not going to regret.
Right.
So I thought my daughter's name was a safe bet.
Your daughter's name's good. Now, the only thing, it's on your forearm.
Yeah.
Now, I know a guy who has, he had 2 children, and he has, their names take up his entire forearm, each of them. And then through some accident or something, years later, him and his wife got pregnant. He's got a 3rd kid. Oh. And it's like, I don't know where you want to put that 3rd one. Maybe put it where all the problem began.
I know the other kids will be jealous.
Manolis, tell me about a scar you have.
One I could just think about right now is if you look on my it's not my middle finger, on my right hand, my what's this one? What's this finger?
It's your 3rd finger, your ring finger. It's sometimes called the ring finger.
The ring finger.
Where the wedding finger goes.
I think it was like I dropped a glass Coca-Cola bottle. This was like this would have been the 80s.
Oh yeah, sure.
And it was one of those big bottles, and I went to try to catch it before it hit the ground, and it hit the ground as my hands were there, and the glass just went everywhere.
Right.
And it hit this finger, my ring finger, and it cut into it.
Oh.
Yeah, and it opened,
gouge
opened up. I had to go to the hospital, get stitches. I guess I almost kind of lost this finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so.
And it was just a fluke accident.
It's a fluke accident. And I was like, I remember just because I was a kid, the only thing I was stressed about was I was still gonna have to pay for the pop.
How old were you?
I was like 13 maybe.
So
13.
So there wasn't stress because you'd poured half a bottle of rye into it beforehand?
Well, that's what I was buying it for.
Of course you were. Jimmy England, tell me about a scar, my friend.
Oh, this is tough. As I said, I got into a lot of fights in high school that I couldn't defend. I'm 6'6". About 1 foot of that is scar tissue, so it's really tough to say. I would say the most memorable is actually a bump in my forefinger. And when I was in high school, I reached for somebody's fries, as you would when you're stupid in high school.
Sure.
Somebody stabbed me with a lead pencil and broke the point of the lead pencil off in there.
Oh,
that's crazy.
That's somebody defending
their
fries,
crazy.
Man. That person really wanted to protect their fries.
I really was, and everybody's going nuts because, oh my God, you're going to get lead poisoning. It's graphite, but you're going to get lead poisoning.
That's the first thing everyone thought about.
Yeah, actually they did.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to go see the nurse.
You were the victim of a stabbing.
I was, yes, at a time when stabbings were so rare, they were done with pencils.
Yeah, that's right, yes. A number 2 for me. Thank you. Jimmy, get up there and drop a Plinko puck for us on this Friday at 4:20. It's your
My
turn.
pleasure.
Grab us a new topic as we crank through another edition of the show.
Did you ever sharpen your pencil longer than you had to when you were in school?
Just to waste time?
When you're
Yeah.
gonna stab
yeah.
somebody.
That was the thing,
there.
right?
Oh, yeah. Just stand up there.
Did
man.
every kid do that?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
How
I just
sharp
remember-
could you make it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I speak for another generation who had to do it with a knife. You had to whittle the point on there.
Oh, wow. See, he's going old school on you, man.
We're going with number 5.
We're going number 5. All right, number 5, our topic on Friday at 4:20 with Jimmy England. Your topic, sir, is if you have a lazy day, do you feel guilty? Do you feel guilty after just taking a day and not doing anything? Do you ever feel guilty about that, or do you give yourself the treat?
I've been retired for almost 3 years, Mike. What do you mean? this is the wrong guy to ask this
Every day.
question of. Every day is like.
Every
Well,
day's
I
a
will
lazy
say, I
day.
get up every morning, I exercise, and I read the paper and all that first, but then I go downstairs and I always exercise, or I
Right.
have a walk with friends, something
Yeah.
like that. But if I don't do that and I just sit around doing nothing, I feel like crap come the middle of the afternoon.
So it's not even guilt so much
No.
as just you just know you're physically going to start to wear
But
down a
it's,
little.
but it's like running. I have to push through that feeling like
Right,
crap until I
yeah.
get into the evening and go, yeah, I can go
Yeah.
to bed soon.
Okay,
That's
back
the
to
highlight
bed.
of my day is rolling around.
Jimmy, I hate to make a generalization, but you're not one of those mall walkers, are you?
He's sharpening.
Can we just grab you at Lime Ridge and haul you over here?
He's like sharpening his pencil as he's walking through the mall.
That's it, eh?
Look out, he's got a blade.
Look out. Manolis, do you feel guilty after spending a day not doing anything, or do you give yourself that treat?
I don't feel guilty. It's like usually the person I'm working for at the time feels mad because I'm
You've done nothing?
You're like, it's like, why are you lying
Why are
down?
you doing it at work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what you thought the question was?
Oh, sorry.
He means like if you just stay
If
home,
you just
do
give
nothing.
yourself a day. Some people put a lot of pressure on themselves too. Just people put pressure on themselves to accomplish something every day. To get, I got to do something. I got to make today right. Make today great. Got to do something. Got to make something happen.
Yeah, I like to keep busy and I probably do too many things. But I usually when that happens, I don't feel guilty because I'm forced into that situation where it's like I've done too much partying.
Right.
And then I'm like, all I can do.
You need the rest.
Yeah, you just gotta lie on the couch and like try to watch something on Netflix and just question why you did all that stuff.
And then and then to the point about the guilt, do you feel guilty later that I ruined a perfectly good day by getting too trashed the night before, or do you feel guilty about it, or do you just go, it's just part of life, man?
It's just part of life.
You really don't feel guilty about much, do you?
Well, no.
No,
I
guilt's
just
not a big motivator.
if I could get past the day part, the part of where like I convince myself like that life is still worth living, then I'm like I'm past. Then guilt is not on.
Then you're on a roll,
Yeah,
baby.
guilt's not on the table.
Patrick Coppolino, how do you feel? I know you're a pretty lazy person. Do you ever feel
According to
guilty?
who?
Huh?
I was a lazy person.
Oh, you're not lazy anymore.
No, all I do is
Oh.
work now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. I didn't get the note that you'd changed.
Side note: you are a little lazy. How long have I been bugging? I want him to make a poster for this show.
Oh, if I don't do something for him, I'm lazy. I couldn't possibly be doing anything else.
You're a busy man.
Is
I
this? Go ahead.
I want to just jump in and talk about the step up to the stage at Levity. I went there for 4 years.
Yeah.
I am 70 years old trying to get up on this damn stage. I finally built a step for them to have there just so it would be easier for the
Nice.
likes of me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he built.
That
yeah.
was Jimmy's contribution.
Oh
And
yeah,
then-
it's awesome. We've got like an official write-up that he made.
The last
Jimmy
time
England
I was
step.
there, it took 3 to carry
Donnie
Donnie
Coy.
up on the stage. So
Well, that's what was so ironic. The guy with the longest legs made a step for us. He just-
the one guy who should be able to just
Yeah.
make the
He
leap.
He promised me a ramp, I'll tell you that right up.
There you go. Well, get me in the wheelchair.
And then people almost died because it was like not bolted
Yeah.
to the
Oh,
stage
he
because
was
it
a-
almost
Oh,
flipped.
yeah.
Well,
My
then I
nose
had to screw it
fastened.
in. No, that poster's for us. It's not for me.
Oh, he's back.
This is your show too,
All right,
Patrick.
All right.
but to your point, I don't feel guilty.
You're
if
not a lazy person.
if I've worked really hard all week and I'm tired and I have, even if it's just an hour before I want to go to bed or something, I
And
don't
you-
want to spend that hour working on something.
Right.
I just want to.
But I'm talking about a whole day. Would you now, under this new guise
Yes.
of the playing the role of the busy person, Would you feel guilty if you just kicked the day off and went, no, I'm not
No.
I'm doing nothing.
No, I treat myself to those ones.
Good for
in a
you,
while,
man.
yes.
All right, that's what I was getting at. I was hoping that we could come to some sort of conclusion that everybody should treat themselves once in a
But
while to a
to-
day of just doing nothing.
In Manolis' defense, like it would probably take me less than 10 minutes to finish that
Yeah. So much. I do so much for your club. Anything you ask.
Oh, here's an opening. Sorry, Jimmy. We've opened some wounds here. This is going to be a while before
I ask him to do something for us, not for me.
Right.
And he just he looks at me like I'm dying.
Patrick already does a lot for us, Manolis.
I have asked him to adjust the lights there because every time I get up, he looks beautiful. My crotch is beautifully lit up. That's
Wow. We are airing all the grievances here on Friday at 4:20. Whose turn is it to Plinko?
I have no
I think
idea.
Manolis, it's you, buddy. Get up there and drop a puck. We'll get a new topic going. Hopefully one that we can all agree on without picking on Patrick.
Let's go 12.
Let's go with 12.
Let's
Oh,
do
we
12.
haven't seen 12 in a while. We almost never get to 12. I think a lot of people listening probably don't even know we have a 12. But
We do.
Did your folks handle talking to you about sex well?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't.
What do you remember back? You're a young man. You're reaching puberty. Was there any kind of a discussion at all, or were you just kind of left of your own devices to figure it out?
Yeah, I was definitely left with my own devices. I remember.
And what were those devices? Manolis,
this is like
were they plug in? Were they battery operated?
It was very. It was definitely when I realized that you could have a release with yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
It
yeah.
wasn't by myself. It's my parents had this machine in the basement that was those machines that you put the belt around your waist and it goes back and forth.
Oh, the shakers.
Yeah,
the
it's
shaker
supposed to get
machine.
rid of your
shake the
hip.
weight off. Yeah.
Yeah, it shakes the weight up. So this thing was old too. It was
Yeah.
probably for the 70s. It's just been there forever, and it worked though. And then one day, me and my brother and these two dudes that were my
Story's
neighbors.
getting weird.
I know it's weird. One day we were playing with it, and then we all let the belt go. It went down to our crotch area.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who did it first, and when realized it felt really good. And then so we just all took turns using this machine. It was like a lineup with this machine,
Sure it would
and it's
be.
like, and that we were just we're like, this is amazing. And no point that we realized this was weird and should have been.
Didn't seem inappropriate at all.
And then the worst part too is because then was person everybody went home and say you're home by yourself. Now it's I know this machine. I use.
Are
It's
you
in
one-
his basement.
You
I
want to
use it.
live
I'm just
there?
I could, and then one day the machine just I think it my
You
dad
wore it out?
I think and my dad just threw it out, and I just remember feeling like I'm so glad that's gone.
Because it had taken over your
Yeah,
life.
your
Yeah.
dad, he
Oh
never
my
explained
God.
it to you why, but he probably caught you in the middle of the night just
And shaking
naked with the belt.
the shake machine on.
Trying to take some weight off my
Oh my
area.
God, that is a beautiful story, Manolis. And
So yeah, I don't know.
so-
I don't even remember what the question was. To tell you the truth.
it's your
Your
parents.
parents, yeah.
Oh, that's
Your parents
sex
give
thing.
you the sex talk, but
Well, I
they
think
didn't need to.
They gave me the machine.
They gave me the machine. Patrick Coppolino, do you remember any form of a sex talk with either of your parents when you were growing up?
No, I don't.
Nothing. They didn't say, "Yeah, be careful, son. Wear one of these."
No, I think, my parents got divorced when I was 12.
Okay,
And then
that was right in the wheelhouse of when that discussion should have taken place.
Yeah. So I think my mom was just awkward about it.
Right.
and
And your
my
dad was just busy
awkward
trying to get
about
some
it.
himself.
yeah. I don't know. My sister taught me how to shave. So, yeah.
he's got the smoothest legs in comedy.
Wow, yeah,
I was gonna
really.
say, it's weird going to school with
That's
a
awesome.
with a landing strip on your mustache. It's just a Hitler mustache.
One of my, just back to Manolis for a second, one of my favorite things in the world is Manolis trying to tell us dirty stories but keep them clean for the radio. And he just, the way his mind struggles with that, it's one of my favorite things, Manolis. Jimmy
you.
England.
Yes, sir.
You're going way back now. Was there a discussion of the birds and the bees with your parents at some point?
Farm animals and street corners. So that was my
Farm
education.
animals and street corners.
No, not to one up
Oh, no.
a man on the
no,
end there.
no,
but
this is where
my
sharing.
parents separated and divorced when I was 7.
Oh, wow.
Brag.
So
There you go.
My uncle had to kind of step in. He goes, "Is there anything you need to know?" Well, no. What? Yeah. What
What are you talking about?
exactly? What are you talking about? How do you pump gas? How does that work exactly?
That's funny. That was unusual for that time. I'm just going to go back on you a little bit, but for parents to separate.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean,
you want to hear the freakiest story I've got to tell anybody is that I have a stepbrother who I had never met. And I'm renting some band equipment one time down on Barton Street, and I'm filling out the form, and I write my name down. Let's say it's England, just to make it easy.
Sure.
I write down. The kid standing, your 10-year-old kid looks, he goes, "Oh, England." I go, "Yep, that's my name, the one and only." The kid goes, "That's my name too." Oh. I go, "Hello, Tom."
Wow.
And he goes, "How did you know my name?" I said, "Well, I know your father." He says, "Well, how do you know my father?" And at that point, I figured, I don't know what he's been told about me, my existence. So you need to talk to him, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I ran into him a few years later. He was cutting grass for the city, and I'm driving my bicycle by, and he's seen me in the commercials. He goes, "Jimmy, come on." I ended up having a nice conversation with the guy. It's the only time I've ever met him. But yeah, weird.
So you have a stepbrother living here in the city.
Plus a sister and a brother.
But you don't have any kind of regular relationships with them.
My sister and brother?
Yeah.
No, we're pretty good. We're cool.
Oh, okay. No, the stepbrother.
The stepbrother, no.
No.
Well, to be honest with you, our father passed away about 2 years ago. It's okay. It's like a neighbor passed away. I just wasn't that close to the man.
Right.
Not having seen him, you know, in 63 years.
Sure.
But no, it was. Well, he got everything. We got nothing in the will, so I'm a little pissed about that.
Okay. Oh, we've opened up some wounds again. Yeah. Off we go.
Move on, will you please? Move on.
Please, we've cracked Jimmy England, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you get the sex talk?
No.
Have you given it?
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I had to give. I have 2 daughters.
So
and
what
I
did
had
you
to
say
talk-
to them?
As he adjusts his pants. So how did this go?
No, but just say
You know
stay
what?
away from men.
No. You know what's interesting, and because I've shared this story with a few people. Some people think that I'm too liberal a parent, or maybe too aggressive a parent. But the only thing is, I took my daughters aside when they were really young. I say like 11 or 12 years old, maybe 10, 11 years old. And I had a very frank talk with them about what boys were seeing on the internet, and how they don't have to acquiesce to what those boys were seeing as being normal. They have every right to do whatever they want if they're comfortable doing it, but that what boys are seeing on the internet does not necessarily mean it's normal or that you have to acquiesce to that. And then I told them some of the things in very graphic language, Manolis, what boys were seeing, because I think I needed to make sure it got through. And when you start telling them stuff like that, they're like, wow. Should we be sitting here in a restaurant having this conversation?
I think that's actually I think that's genius.
I was really worried. I was worried that boys see a lot of stuff, and girls do too now. But I mean, it's just you see a lot of stuff on the internet that you go, that it can happen. You can do that if you're if you're consenting adults. But man, you're 17 and you're trying to talking to her into having butt sex. I mean, hold on a second, man. That you got to know that
Even
you
younger,
don't have to do
there's
that.
like 13, 14-year-olds. They all have cell phones now, and they're all
They can all
asking
see all of
girls
that
for
stuff,
nudes
right?
and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
And
gross.
Guys are more wanting to see that stuff, like porn, but like girls, like a lot of girls you talk to, like they don't like. It's very common for them to like, oh, I don't watch porn.
They either don't, or it's even common now, I think, for some girls to watch it, but they watch what they want to watch. They don't watch the stuff that the boys are watching.
Yeah,
To quote Jimmy Carr, they want to see the ending, so they want to know whether they live happily ever after.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. See if everyone got along okay.
I got to say, my wife gave the sex talk to our 2 daughters and our son.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly what was told, but when they left the room, they looked at me a lot differently than when they went in.
You did that to mom?
It's all Jimmy's fault. Whose turn is it to Plinko? Drop the Plinko puck.
I have
We
no
got
idea.
time for one more topic, maybe 2 if this is a fast one, Manolis.
Why did you say me? Fast one.
Number 3. All right, here we go. Number 3. Oh. Did we do number 3?
10.
10 or 3.
I don't. I think I may have forgotten to put a topic in number 3.
not good.
That was my bad.
That's all right.
That one, we're shooting blanks over here. How do we feel about doing laundry?
Not a fan.
No.
I'll do it because I have to. But
Do you do the laundry for your family or just for yourself?
Lindsay does most of it. But,
Okay.
But I do. I do it.
You do have to take care of some bits
Yeah.
yourself. Favorite part or favorite part, if you had to pick one, is it the separating for the wash? Is it or folding?
Yeah, I actually enjoy when it's done. It's kind of calming, just folding it, putting it in the
Okay,
basket.
so
yeah.
folding over separating for the wash. Manolis, your question. Do you do your own laundry?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. I like doing laundry because I just like. Like it's like because I like clean underwear. That's about you know what I mean. Like, I don't.
I would have, you know what? I would have bet $10 that Manolis just went out and bought new underwear when he needed it.
Right? Yeah. But like, if you change your oil, you don't put the old oil filter back on. Right, you put the new oil filter, and you're like,
exactly.
and there's a good.
So you like that
when you leave the garage. There's a beautiful feeling that you're like, oh, my car.
The boys are sitting in a nice, clean cotton. Oh man,
yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
like you don't want, you just don't want that.
You want it nice and clean.
You have to.
Sorting clothes or folding clothes, which would be better?
Folding, I don't know. I would say there's something calming about
something
folding.
zen. You're in the meditation.
I like to put my underwear right into my nose and like before and after, just to see so I can really understand the difference.
See the improvement.
Yeah.
That's a visual our audience didn't need. But we here got the visual. He actually held his hands up to his own face.
His mustache isn't hair. I don't know.
Jimmy England, do you? All
right, I have to do a little qualifying here. First of all, Patrick, did you change your daughter's diapers when she was younger?
Yes.
Okay, so did I. I want to have that said up front because
his daughters.
Yeah.
Wow, Jimmy, that's pretty.
He didn't want to have the sex talk with her, so that's what it came down to. All right. No, actually, I did too, and for somebody of my generation, that's rather unusual. And I'd still do stuff. In fact, we have chores that we do at the house today, and I dusted before I came out today. My wife was out having her nails done. Dusting is a great chore because you can have her go out, come back, and say it's dusted. She can't tell. It's terrific. The only job I will not do in the house is the laundry.
Okay.
And I'm just saying I will do anything else here.
Yeah.
But you have to take on some responsibility.
There has to be something. So you're and have you never done laundry? I mean, aside from the fact that you maybe had to have thrown a load in, you just always avoid laundry?
Every now and again, you go, just pile them in darks and lights, and I get the beige, and I have absolutely no idea what direction to go with it.
You know what? It's a mind bender for all of us, brother. I'm telling you right now, you're doing darks and colors and whites, and you're sorting, and then something comes up, and it's white and colored and dark, and you're like, what the hell?
If anything ever happens to her and I have to do my own laundry, my wardrobe is going black and white, just to be clear on how everything works.
Yeah.
Nice and simple.
I was shocked. I looked at Manolis when you said throwing a load in, and he didn't. Nothing.
He grabbed nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, guys.
This is the influence of an old guy on the panel.
Jimmy, you were a great influence on our panel. We really appreciate you coming out and doing the show with us today.
My pleasure. A lot of fun.
Do you share on social media? Is there somewhere we can follow you?
Jimmy England is a funny guy. I'm on there. I do very little on there. I do have a podcast. Am I allowed to mention that?
Absolutely, yeah. Fire away, man.
Back to the Balcony, a second look at movies from the 60s and 70s. We've been on for about 4 years now.
Nice. So. Back to the Balcony. Find it on any great streaming service.
You can.
Okay, Back to the Balcony. Who do you do that with?
I do that with a lot of some of the comics locally, but I have a bunch of people that I do regularly that I've known for years, and
awesome.
we try and be, bring out new facts about the movies you maybe didn't know, be entertaining and what have you. It's a lot of fun.
There were some tremendous. I mean, any decade had some great movies, but the 60s and 70s, there were some awesome films.
Well, it's a transition period between that, the 30s and 40s and 50s when everything was all sweetie pie, and all of a sudden we're showing gritty things.
We
do Bonnie and Clyde and
stuff, man.
Oh yeah, you did. We've actually done 2 adult movies too, because that's all we're going to do. But
just in case you want Manolis to listen.
Yes.
Yeah, a couple of adult movies in there for you, Manolis. That is called Back to the Balcony.
That is correct.
And that is available on any streaming service. Jimmy England, everybody, give it up for him.
Woo!
Yeah. Manolis, what do you want to say?
I got a buddy that owns a business called Sealed Art. You know Sealed Art?
I do not know Sealed Art.
It's on Gage and Maine.
So these are seals that do art?
Yes.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Wow, that is amazing. Or.
Yeah, and they also the seals
That is
frame.
the worst seal I've ever heard.
Thank you very much.
The seals frame pictures and seal pictures to wood.
Nice.
And I've known these guys for years. Les and Julian, they own the place.
Where's the store?
It's on a corner of. It's right across from Gage Park. Main and Gage.
Main and Gage. It's called Sealed Art. Check them out. Some amazing stuff. Great for a gift. Maybe you want to buy a gift, something unusual, unique.
I've been going most of the pictures that are framed. All the pictures are framed in Levity were done by them actually.
Oh, fabulous.
And just we're on social media, like all the old episodes.
Oh, yes. All the old episodes of Friday at 420 available on streaming services everywhere. So download an episode of Back to the Balcony and an episode of Friday at 420. All of our previous episodes available for your listening pleasure. And Patrick Coppolino, talk to me about Levity Comedy Club, 1 year old.
I'd also like to shout out my friend Seal's Art.
Seal's Art,
That's
excellent.
the musician Seal. He opened it.
Yes, he does art.
He opened it next door.
Sealed.
Excellent.
Sealed.
No, I know, but Seal's Art.
Seal's
is next
Art,
door.
yeah. With nudes
All
of Heidi
paintings
Klum.
of Seal.
Yeah, and Heidi Klum.
And levitycomedyclub.com for all the shows we got downtown Hamilton. Amateur Night Wednesdays, pro shows Friday. I never know what to say. Follow us at Levity Comedy Club.
You're doing great, buddy. Keep it going. Yeah.
But you have all this energy. You should use it to making a poster for us.
Oh, my God. You know what?
know.
On next week's episode of Friday at 420, Patrick reveals the poster. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. And thank you for coming back in 7 days to hang out with us. In the meantime, have an awesome weekend.
Thank you.